Alright everybody, we're back. Exercise testing. This time we're going to go over tables 1 and 2. We're still in the body composition lab, okay? So we are going to start off with a reference point. Okay, you want to use the sample report if you're kind of lost as to how to start your tables or what to include in your tables, okay? A sample report was included in the email that I sent to you guys. With all of the 7 or 8 attachments, okay? So I have here page 11 of the sample report to refer to on the left-hand side, all right? Tables 1 and 2 is basically a summary of data for males and females, okay? As you can see, we have anything from age to deep abdominal fat contained in this particular table, okay? As for getting these values, that's up to you guys, okay? You guys have to figure out where in your Excel sheets your waist to hip ratio is, your lean body fat from underwater weighing. All that is located in your Excel sheets. There might be 1 or 2 that you actually have to calculate. One that I know for sure is the deep abdominal fat. Deep abdominal fat formula is located in your exercise testing laboratory manual that was provided for you guys online from Dr. Schmidt. Okay, it's actually a pretty simple formula that you can enter into Excel using the previous video. And we're also going to do a couple of equations right here. Okay, so we have to get the number of people in each of these measurements, the mean, the standard deviation, and the range. So I'm going to try and simplify that for you guys. What I want you to do is you can open up one of the Excel sheets that you already have. For example, I have the underwater calculations Excel sheet, and I went ahead and opened up a new tab. Okay, so sheet 3, you can call it whatever you want. And I created several columns, okay, columns that we need information for. So I basically went through all of these values here, not all of them because we're just doing an example, but you're going to want to enter in a column for each one of these values as you go down through the table, okay? And then down here on rows 16 through 19 for my sheet, it's going to be different because you're going to have a different amount of subjects in yours, okay? I have the mean, oops, I forgot the E in that. So we have the mean, standard deviation, max, and min. The reason I have max and min is I'm not aware of a formula that you can use to determine range, and with a max and min that'll give you an easy way to determine that and list it in your table, okay? Now keep in mind, this isn't the table you're going to include in your lab report. This is the table that you're going to use to get the values or to obtain the values that you need to report in your table, okay? In the table that you actually include. So as an example, all right, under age, I have entered in a bunch of fictional data. Okay, so most of you guys are between 21, 20, 23, all right? So I went ahead and entered in a bunch of fictional data. You're going to enter this, you're going to enter data for all of the different points. So then I would go into height in centimeters, weight in kilograms, body density, and so forth. Okay, so enter in all of your data. Now, here I have mean, standard deviation, max, and min, okay? That's going to help us out because we're going to create an equation so that we don't have to calculate those for each individual variable that we're trying to look at, all right? So for the mean, we have an equation. We're going to, just like we talked about last sheet, do the equal sign to indicate that we're doing an equation. And then you're going to type in average, A-V-E-R-A-G-E, open parentheses, okay? Once you open parentheses, you're going to drag or highlight all of the cells that you want the mean calculated from. So each subject's information is going to be used here, so we want to drag all of the cells or highlight all of the cells that the data or that the subjects are in. Okay, so then we're going to close parentheses here and we're going to hit enter. That's going to give us our mean value. So this mean value is going to be the number right here, age in years, mean, and that's what you're going to report on your table, okay? Next, we're going to go to standard deviation. For standard deviation, we want an equal sign, open parentheses, before open parentheses, you want to put STDEV, that indicates that we want standard deviation. You want to open a parentheses, and then you're going to do the same exact thing that we did for mean. We're going to drag or highlight all of the cells that we want, and then close parentheses, hit enter, and bam, there we go, standard deviation. For max, we're going to do the same thing, equal sign, MAX for max, open parentheses. We're going to highlight all of the data that we want the max from, close parentheses, and boom, there we go. For min, same thing, equal sign. We put MIN, open parentheses, highlight all the cells we want, close parentheses, and enter. All right, now we have all of the values that we need, okay, except for the number, but you'll have the number obviously just by looking at your data, okay, however many subjects you're entering in, that will be the number, all right? But we have the mean, which is going to be reported right here. We have the standard deviation, which obviously you don't want to give me 6 decimal places, right? You can give me 2 decimal places, that will be enough. Standard deviation is going to be reported here. Maximum and min, you're just going to take the min and then create a dash sign and put the max next to the min. Okay, so it'll look like this, 21.0 to 29.0. All right, so for ours it will be 20.0 to 23.0, and you can just give me 1 decimal place unless you're doing body density or something that really needs 2 to 3 decimal places. Body density, of course, we need 5. Okay. Now, once you enter data for all of your other cells, okay, oops, we don't want that, let's erase that, and, okay, I messed that up, let's redo it, okay, open, or equal sign, max, open parentheses, let's drag all of our cells, close parentheses, and enter. Okay, now, once we enter in all of the data, I'm just going to enter a bunch of crazy numbers here. Obviously, people are not 4 centimeters or 5,650 centimeters, but we're just going to do it just to do it quickly. And okay, all right, so let's pretend that all of these are filled in. All right, what you want to do, just like the last sheet, is all you have to do is Control C, highlight the equation where we had mean, and for max, I don't know what you're going to do, but you just copy, okay? And then you're going to go into the cell. When you have all of your values set up, you can actually highlight all of the cells. Okay, so let's messed up the Control C. Okay, so we're going to go all the way across, and let's assume that I have data entered in all the way to R. Okay, data is entered in all the way to R. I'm going to press Control V, or you can just copy it for max, and there we have it. So my mean is 1,033, or let's see, 13,033 for height in centimeters. It's some tall people. Now we can do that same thing for SD, min, and max. All right, let's just do one at a time to avoid messing up. We drag it over and Control V, and we do the max, Control C, drag it over, Control V, and the min, Control C, drag it over, Control V. All right, now the cells that are not filled in, let's say you want to do this before you start entering in your information, that's okay, because it will begin to come together as you enter values in. So if we go through here and start to enter values in, you'll notice that the Divo has changed. Okay, so it now provides you with a mean and standard deviation as you go through and enter in your false data, in your case correct data. Okay, that will give you all of the information that you need for tables 1 and 2. Once you have that information, you want to open up a Word document. Probably want to create your tables in Word just because it's a little bit more user friendly. Okay. Up here at top, I think you can see that, but just in case you can't, I'm going to minimize this screen. Let's see if I can minimize it here. I don't know. How the heck? Okay, so I'm going to minimize this and drag it down so that you guys can see. All right. Now, you want to go ahead and go to Insert Tab, Table. All right. You can pick your rows just by doing this. And you can always change it once you've created your rows. Let's assume that that's what I want. I'll just go ahead and click it and press OK. I'm going to maximize the screen now. Well, before I do, you can actually go through and choose your design pattern.